Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a long, endless night? A season of life where the sun seems to have forgotten how to rise, and the weight of sorrow feels like a permanent blanket. It could be the quiet ache of loss, the sharp sting of disappointment, or just a heavy, lingering sadness that you can't quite name. In these moments, the idea of joy can feel like a distant memory, or worse, a cruel joke. We're told to cheer up, or look on the bright side, but that advice often falls flat, doesn't it? It can feel like being told to simply grow wings and fly, when you feel like you can barely stand. But what if the path to joy isn't about ignoring the darkness, but about moving through it? What if sorrow isn't a dead end, but a passageway? There's an ancient piece of wisdom, found in the book of Psalms, that speaks directly to this human experience. It's a single, powerful line that has brought comfort to countless souls for thousands of years. It says, "Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes with the morning." Let's just sit with that for a moment. It doesn't say, "Don't weep." It doesn't say, "Pretend the night isn't happening." It acknowledges the reality of the night. It validates the tears. It gives us permission for our weeping to tarry, to linger and stay for a while. This is so profoundly important. In our fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to get over our pain as quickly as possible. We see grief and sadness as problems to be solved, inconveniences to be tidied away. But this ancient wisdom offers a different perspective. It frames sorrow not as a failure, but as a season. Just like the literal night, it is a temporary, though often difficult, part of the natural cycle of life. Think about the night. It can be frightening, lonely, and disorienting. The familiar landscape of our life is obscured by shadows. We might feel lost, vulnerable, and completely alone. This night of the soul can take many forms. It's the grief that follows the loss of a loved one, a heavy silence where laughter used to be. It's the heartbreak of a relationship ending, leaving you to piece together a future you never planned. It's the disappointment of a dream that crumbles, a door that slams shut after you've poured your heart into opening it. It can even be the slow, grinding weariness of a mental health struggle, where every day feels like an uphill battle. In these nights, our weeping is a natural, healthy, and necessary response. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of a heart that has loved, a soul that has dared to hope. They are the body's way of releasing the pressure, of processing the unprocessable. Attempting to suppress this process, to rush through the night, is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can do it for a little while, but it takes an immense amount of energy, and eventually, it will burst to the surface, often with more force than before. The psalm gives us permission for the weeping to tarry. It invites us to be patient with our own healing. Imagine you have a deep wound. You wouldn't just ignore it and expect it to get better. You would clean it, dress it, and give it the time it needs to knit itself back together. You would be gentle with it. Our emotional wounds deserve the same gentle care. Allowing the weeping to tarry means creating space to feel what you need to feel, without judgment. It means accepting that some days will be harder than others. It means understanding that healing is not a straight line. There will be moments where you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And that is perfectly okay. You are not going backward, you are simply navigating the complex terrain of your own heart. So, how do we honor the night without getting lost in it? How do we hold space for our pain without letting it consume us? It begins with self-compassion. It's about speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend who is hurting. It's about acknowledging your pain with a gentle, "Yes, this hurts. This is real." It's also about finding safe people and safe places where you can be honest about your struggle. A trusted friend, a family member, a therapist, or a support group can act as a lantern in the darkness, not to magically make the night disappear, but to remind you that you are not walking through it alone. This period of tarrying is not passive. It is an active, courageous process of healing. It is during the night that our roots often grow deeper. It is in the quiet and the stillness that we can begin to understand ourselves in a new way. But the promise doesn't end in the night. This is the most beautiful part. It says, "But joy comes with the morning." This isn't just a hopeful platitude. It is a profound statement about the nature of reality, about the resilience of the human spirit. The morning always comes. No matter how long, how dark, or how stormy the night, the dawn is a physical certainty. The sun will rise. And just as the physical dawn transforms the world, bathing it in light and color, the metaphorical morning of the soul brings a new kind of joy. Notice that the text doesn't say happiness. There's a subtle but important difference. Happiness is often dependent on our circumstances. We're happy when things are going well, when we get that promotion, when we're on vacation. It can be wonderful, but it can also be fleeting. Joy, especially the joy that comes after sorrow, is something different. It's deeper. It's more resilient. It's not the absence of pain. It is the discovery of light within the pain. Think of the Japanese art of kintsugi. When a piece of pottery breaks, it isn't thrown away. The broken pieces are carefully reassembled, and the cracks are filled with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The result is a piece that is not just repaired, but is considered even more beautiful and valuable for having been broken. The golden seams don't hide the damage, they illuminate it. They tell a story of resilience and transformation. The joy that comes in the morning is a kintsugi joy. It's a joy that has been forged in the fires of adversity. It carries the memory of the night, but it is not defined by it. It's a joy that understands the fragility of life and, because of that, cherishes every precious moment of light. So, how do we begin to spot the first light of this morning? How do we welcome this joy when our eyes are still accustomed to the dark? It often starts small. Very small. It's not usually a sudden floodlight of happiness. It's more like the first, faint glimmer of dawn on the horizon. It might be the simple act of noticing. After a long period of numbness, you might suddenly notice the rich, comforting aroma of your morning coffee. And for a fleeting second, you feel a small spark of pleasure. That is the dawn. You might be on a walk, lost in your thoughts, and you look up to see the intricate pattern of a leaf, or you feel a gentle breeze on your skin. And for a moment, you feel connected to the world again. That is the dawn. It could be a genuine, unforced laugh at a friend's silly joke. A moment of warmth that breaks through the chill. These are not trivial things. They are the first rays of the morning sun. The key is to learn how to notice them, to welcome them, and to hold them gently without demanding that they stay forever. Gratitude is a powerful practice for turning our attention towards the light. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's about intentionally scanning your reality for the gold, even when it feels like you're surrounded by rubble. It might be gratitude for the friend who checked in on you, for the roof over your head, for the simple fact of your own breath moving in and out of your body. Gratitude practice is like exercising a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets, and the easier it becomes to find things to be grateful for, even on the hard days. It slowly, gently rewires your brain to look for the good. Another sign of the morning is a renewed sense of connection. Sorrow can be incredibly isolating. It can make us feel like we are trapped behind a wall of glass, watching the rest of the world go on without us. The morning often arrives when we begin to slowly, carefully, dismantle that wall. It might be reaching out to an old friend. It might be joining a class or a group that sparks a forgotten interest. It's about taking a small risk to be with other people again, to share your story or to simply listen to theirs. Connection reminds us that our story of pain and resilience is part of a much larger human story. And perhaps the most profound sign of the morning is the discovery of new meaning or purpose. The night of sorrow changes us. We are not the same person who entered it. The things that once seemed so important may now seem trivial, and new priorities may emerge. Loss can clarify what truly matters. Heartbreak can teach us the depths of our own capacity for love. Failure can strip away our ego and reveal a more authentic version of ourselves. The joy of the morning is often found in using our story of the night to help others. Your experience of navigating grief can make you an incredibly compassionate friend to someone else who is just beginning that journey. Your struggle with a particular challenge can give you the unique empathy to support and guide others facing the same thing. You become a living testament to the promise that mourning does, in fact, come. Your scars, like the golden seams of kintsugi, become a source of beauty and strength, not just for you, but for the world. This journey from night to morning is not a one-time event. Life will inevitably bring more nights. But each time you walk this path, you become more familiar with the territory. You learn to trust the process. You learn that you have the strength to endure the darkness. And you carry with you the unshakable, experiential knowledge that joy will come again. It is a promise woven into the fabric of the universe. So if you find yourself in the middle of a long night right now, be gentle with yourself. Give your weeping permission to tarry. Honor your pain. You are not weak, you are healing. And keep your eyes on the horizon. Look for the small glimmers of light. The taste of your tea. The sound of a bird singing. The warmth of a memory. A moment of peace. These are the promises of the dawn. The night is not your final destination. It is a sacred, albeit painful, part of the journey. Hold on. Be patient. Joy comes with the morning. And a new day is on its way.